Welcome everyone to Decoding Devy. I am Brandon, and you can find me on Twitter at Haye3. And this podcast/stream is brought to you by the IDP Guys. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're coming out with some off-season content, and make sure to be on the lookout for the rookie profiles that are coming out that you would like to subscribe to the website. And then also the magazine will be coming out later in the off-season. So tonight, we're going to talk about tight ends. I know, a lot of people aren't very high on them, but I think there's some that you need to look into, maybe in the second round of your rookie drafts in Dynasty. And, some people don't think tight ends matter, but they do. So first, there's a couple players that entered the transfer portal. I thought it was a little interesting that they waited so long. But Jaden Daniels from Arizona State entered the transfer portal. It seems like there's a lot going on there with possible sanctions coming up. There seem to be players that were upset with him leaving. There is not a destination, but he is a player that was thought of highly coming in as a freshman. He was a 4-star, number 35 ranked player in 2018, the second-ranked dual quarterback. He was recruited by Bama and a bunch of schools out west before he picked Arizona State. His freshman year, he started off very hot with 2,900 yards, 17 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He's very high in the Devy community, but since then, he really hasn't been able to build on that. He had the shortened season, and then last year in 2021, 10 TDs, 10 interceptions, but he did have 700 rush yards. There is questions too about his size because he needs to bulk up to be able to make it in the NFL. So it'll be interesting where he goes now that a lot of the transfers are already done. But this does give an opportunity if you have him in a Devy league to try to trade him because someone might be willing to take him if he goes to a good spot. So that's one player. And the next player is Aaron McLaughlin from NC State. He just committed to NC State last year in 2021. He's a 4-star, 28th ranked QB, 265th ranked player by 247. He had offers from Alabama, Auburn, Florida, FSU, Penn State, a bunch of places. Devin Leary is going to be the quarterback this year, and I guess he did not want to have to wait another year, so it'd be his third year before he got playing time. It'll be interesting where he can end up and possibly be kind of an uptick right now. I'm sure if you have him in Devy or C2C, you'll just hold tight and until he does something on the field. So that's really the only college news right now. So we're going to go over 3 prospects today at tight end, and all of them I think are pretty good receivers. Some of them better at blocking, and one of them is probably going to be more used as a receiving tight end because blocking is kind of uneven. So let's go over those players first. So first is Jalen Weidermeyer from Texas A&M. He was a top 360 prospect in 2019. He was the 15th tight end. He had offers from Texas A&M, Miami, Alabama, and Auburn. 2019, he had 32 receptions, 447 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And you could see I brought in the run block and pass blocking numbers for all these 3 players from PFF because that is the best way. I cut some film of some of their blocking, but obviously, it's hard to grade that. So it's kind of low that year. As we see in 2020, it gets better, and then 2021, it went down a little bit. He's gone up in targets every year. In 2021, he was not. He did not have as many receptions as 2020, which would be his best year with 506 yards and 6 touchdowns. He had 40 receptions for over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns this year. Quarterback play was kind of up and down for Texas A&M, so that might be part of it. They leaned on the running game quite a bit, what with Isaiah Spiller and Devin Achane. So, that might be part of it, but I think he's a tight end that can be moved outside, be moved around kind of in the H-back and play on the line, has some really good tape of blocking. So I don't necessarily know if that low blocking score is representation of who he really is or just, at least how that was graded. But he can definitely improve on that. And also I think on his routes, he can improve on a lot of the routes are just him finding a spot in the zone or, just going straight with the field, getting the ball and just showing that he's an athlete and able to move with that. So now let's get into the film for Weidermeyer. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this first play, he's just going to go across the middle. So let's start that. You see him breaking across. He beats the defender. You see even right here, the defender is tugging at his jersey, but he's able to get that separation. This is a nice pass when Kellen Mond was there. This is 2020. It's across the middle. He makes a nice catch when the defender makes contact and is able to get the first down there. So what I did see was a lot of times he is able to hold on to the ball when he does get hit with the contact, and he can catch the ball with his hands and use his body. But he uses his hands well when he can, so that he doesn't get the ball jarred loose. This next play is going to be a run block. So let's actually go back. See, he's up here right behind the tackle. So he's going to make a nice run block here on the Alabama defender. So we'll run it. He just goes straight up the field and drives him back and allows for a run right there, right at the middle. He continues with the lineman to double team that defender to make a nice path for the running back. So this next play is going to be another play where he's going across the middle. He's here right in the slot. So you'll see him kind of make it. This actually is a very nice move by him. He makes a little hesitation stutter step to the defender. And then the defender kind of backs off a little bit, and then he cuts it inside. Shows a good target for the quarterback going across the middle. Makes a nice catch, breaks a tackle of the defender that was trailing, and then uses his speed to get outside for a couple extra yards. And you see how strong he is because they can't even bring him down. They had to blow the whistle on the play. So this play, he's going to be out here in the slot again. He's just going to make an out-cutting route and then make the nice catch. Comes to a complete stop as the defender is coming towards him, and then cuts inside and uses his speed and his athleticism to get extra 5 yards. This next one is we're actually going to have two replays, two angles of this, but he's going to come across the middle. This is against South Carolina this year. Is going to make the nice catch, take on the hit, spin out of it, and score a touchdown. As you'll see in this one, this is a better view. He's across the middle. High points the ball, nice catch. Gets his foot down. The defender is coming to hit him hard. He takes on that hit and then spins off of it as the balance to score a touchdown there. This next one in the same South Carolina game, it's where he's going to block the defender, slip off of that, and go out for a little kind of screen. Catches it out here. It's a perfect play call. Not many defenders out here has a blocker, but you see with his speed and athleticism, once the defender comes, he's able to break the tackle around the 7-yard line and then just continue in and get the touchdown there. So that's one of the biggest things with Weidermeyer that I saw was he's very good across the middle. And even on these short plays, he has the physicality and the speed to get the yards after the catch, which is going to be the big thing in the NFL. If he can improve on his blocking so he can be in line and, out in the slot or outside, or in the backfield, then he could get quite a few catches and be very, very crucial or valuable for tight end premium leagues. Okay, so this was going to be another outcut by him. He makes a nice catch and kind of drags a couple defenders 5 or 6 yards down the field. That just shows his strength. So this next play, he's going to do a run block. He's right up here at the end of the line. He makes the block, but that doesn't sustain his block, so the defender is able to come back and tackle the running back. So that's something he needs to work on, just sustaining the blocks. So as you see, he kind of hits him, then allows the defender to come off, and he thought the running back would be gone by then, but he was still there, so the defender was able to make that play. So we'll rewind it. He is right here on the end of the line. Play it. He takes on the defender, but allows him off, and then the defender is able to make the tackle. So this in the middle is going to be a play where it's across the middle, and he, nice hands catch, and then, is ready for the defender. All right, this one, it's just good yards after the catch. He just comes across the middle, in between a couple defenders, catches it, cuts outside, is able to get 10 or 12 extra yards. Just very good with yards after the catch. In this one, he's going to have a very nice run block on defender against Alabama. He's on the right side of the line. So the defender is going to come down, and he fully engages, takes the defender out of the play, and lets Isaiah Spiller get up the field for 4 or 5 yards. This one is going to be another yards after the catch, just straight. He just goes straight up the field with his speed. He's able to get past the defender. They let him go. Has a nice catch, turns quickly, avoids the safety, and is able to keep on running and gain about 5-10 extra yards. And here's another where he's able to move with the ball. The defense kind of misses him right here. So he's going to be right here, stacked on the right side behind the wide receiver. And you'll see he comes out. The defender kind of just lets him go. And then the defender looks back at the quarterback because the quarterback starts to scramble, gets lost, but he keeps on working downfield and makes a nice catch. This play is he's going to have a nice block so the quarterback can throw the touchdown. So he's on this right side. They have 2 tight ends out here to the right side. So he's going to make a nice block as the defensive end comes down. Holds that block very well, allows for the easy touchdown across the middle. So you can see he does have some good technique. He just needs to be more consistent in his blocking. The next couple of plays, this one, it's kind of a tough pass by the quarterback, throws it too far outside. He's not able to make the play. And this one, it's across the middle. It's a little high, but you'd like to see him make this catch. It's in his hands. He's outstretched, but he doesn't make the catch. Just a small thing, but you would like to see him come down with this pass. In this one, we'll see another good block. Weidermeyer is out here to the right. The tackle gets a little chip on the defensive end, and then Weidermeyer gets him full on, engages, and it blocks him enough. He actually comes off the block, and the defender could have gotten Spiller, but he got him long enough where Spiller was able to get through the hole and get those extra yards. And this last one is going to be a nice tough catch. This is another one where he just goes up the field, kind of finds a spot in between defenders, makes himself presentable, and catches it in between those 2 players. So that's with Weidermeyer kind of. I don't think he was used enough, obviously, at Texas A&M. Part of that, it might just be scheme, a little inconsistency by him, but he did show some very nice things through his time at Texas A&M. I think he could be one of those players that is going to be a better NFL player than a college player. So it'll be interesting where he will end up. I think he's the best tight end prospect coming out this year, but I doubt, in any rookie drafts, he would go in the first round. It'll be interesting how high these tight ends get picked, where they will get picked in the rookie drafts, but I would say somewhere in the second round, maybe the mid-second round, where I would be starting to look at him. All right, the next player is Trey McBride out of Colorado State. He actually was there for 4 years. A different type of player than Weidermeyer. He was the 67th tight end in 2018. Overall prospect, 1556. He had some offers from California, Colorado State, and Kansas State. Not nearly the big offers that Weidermeyer had. But, you see that in 2019, he had 54 targets, over 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. What you'll see is he didn't score nearly as many touchdowns as Weidermeyer. He obviously wasn't in as good of offenses. And in 2020, they had shortened season, so that's kind of the reason for the lack of targets and receptions. But in 2021, he really responded with over 100 targets, 90 receptions, over 1,100 yards, but only that 1 touchdown. You see, kind of the pass blocking has always been there, and run blocking would increase from last year to this year. Still solid. From the clips we'll see, I think he's a solid blocker, and he really has a nasty streak when he blocks. So, and he's able to catch the ball. He's a big-bodied tight end, more of your traditional tight end, I would say, but he can be lined up in the slot and outside, and obviously has that big body and is able to block. So let's get into his tape. Okay, this first play, he's going to make a nice catch down low. He was outside. He turns around and makes the nice kind of falling catch right there. This next play, he's going to make a catch across the middle and have a nice run after the catch. He motions a lot towards the line, but he's right here motioning to the right side of the line by the tackle. Then he comes back out, so the defender has to move, and he just does a quick little slant and catches it, and has is able to get acceleration and get about 5 or 10 yards down the field on that nice little catch. This next play is actually not going to be a good decision by the quarterback. Throws it into coverage. It gets tipped up, but he is able to have concentration while he's on the ground and make a nice catch. It just shows, his good hands and concentration. Right here, as you see, the defender, it goes through his hands, up in the air, it rides on the ground and able to catch it. So, this doesn't really show, any great skill, won't usually happen where you're on the ground, but the concentration is the reason I put this clip in there. This is another one. At Colorado State, they like to have him kind of come around. So as you'll see here, he's on the end of the left line, and he's going to come across and block and then slip out for a little pass. And he just gets they scheme him open, and he is wide open. And he's a big guy, but he's very he moves very good for his size. So he gets about 15 yards of after the catch. And this next one is going to be another catch over the middle. He's able to break through because he's on the edge of the line right here, outside here. He gets Vanderbilt. He gets hung up a little bit, but breaks through that, and then is wide open, and then he's able to stumble and run for about 10 extra yards. This next play is going to be, he's actually right here. This time he's in the slot. He's just going to do a little outcut here and just, be open. Nice catch. Goes straight up the field, gets an extra 5-6 extra yards. This one is a really nice play out on the sideline. A good pass by the quarterback, and he's able to catch it on the sideline, and this would be good in the NFL with 2 feet. So you see the defender's right there, but he's able to get a little bit separation, make the nice catch, and get 2 feet in. You'll see it better on this replay. He's right by the sideline. Looks like a true wide receiver here. Catches it over his shoulder, gets 1 foot in, gets the 2nd foot in. That would be good in the NFL. In this play right here, he's just going to cut. He's going to be on the end of the left line, cut outside, and be open for a little rollout touchdown. And this one actually is thrown a little bit behind him, but he makes the nice adjustment, catches, and kind of turns. Shows a little bit of his athleticism to score a touchdown there. Not a real tough catch, but still he had to adjust to the ball thrown behind him. This is going to be a nice run block. So let's go back here. He's actually going to be here at the end, outside the line. So there's another tight end outside of him and a wide receiver. So he's going to come across and make a nice block. And this is kind of where I was talking about the nasty streak. He's going to attach to this defensive lineman right here, number 33, and just drive him back like, offensive lineman and pancake him. So it was a nice play to allow for the running back, and I really like how he blocks and everything there. He's going to be more of a complete tight end, kind of like a Gronkowski, where you put him in the line, a great blocker, and he can make those nice catches and get those yards after he is targeted. So this is going to be another nice run block. He's outside right here on the left. He's going to be taking on the defensive end. He gets on the outside shoulder and pushes him inside. And then actually this one is he does the block, like I kind of said, like in slip. So he blocks, and then the defender is released, and he's able to go out for a short little outlet pass, catches it. Nice catch, and gets, 5-7 yards because he's so tough to bring down because he's such a big and physical guy. This is the run block. I missed the play. So he's outside here on the left, and he's going to engage this defender. He obviously has the size, but good technique to get, outside. And you see totally pushing him to the left side, gives a free lane for the running back to run down the field, and continues to block to allow that. All right, and in here, they use a little middle screen for him. More teams are starting to do this, catches it, and just goes straight up the field. Nothing fancy, but I like that he doesn't dance. He just goes straight up the field and gets those extra yards. That's when he comes across the middle. He was out in the slot again. Or actually, he was a little offset of the line. He's just going to come out here. It's a nice play because the wide receiver was stacked. So the wide receiver is going to threaten to go deep. So then he kind of comes just behind him and cuts inside. And the defender doesn't make the reaction fast enough. He's wide open, catches it, takes on the big blow from the defender, and holds on to the ball. So this play, another nice, break across and gets about 10 to 12 yards after the catch. So McBride, I don't think is as athletic as Weidermeyer, but a better blocker, and still has some very nice plays on catching the ball and making things happen after he catches it. But like I said, he doesn't have as many touchdowns. That could be partially because of the offense not being as explosive, so less opportunities. So that could definitely be part of it. But it'll be interesting to see because I think it could be a great red zone target and someone that could play probably right away because of his ability to block. So the next player that we have is Isaiah Likely, went to Coastal Carolina. So he was an interesting prospect because he was the 172nd athlete in 2018, but was listed as a wide receiver. Not many offers. His offer list was Coastal Carolina, Bethune-Cookman, Bryant, Central Connecticut State, and UMass. So he went to Coastal Carolina and has been part of them kind of making a name for themselves the last couple years with Grayson McCall. In 2019, he had 32 receptions, 400 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And then in 2020, upped that a little bit with more yardage, but the same, actually less receptions and 5 touchdowns again. And this past year, he really had the uptick with 59 receptions, over 900 yards, and 12 touchdowns. So he was a touchdown machine, tons of big plays for that offense. So on some of the clips I have, the blocking isn't great. As you see, the PFF, the run blocking actually is not that bad. Pass blocking is okay. I don't think he's going to be asked to go in line and block a ton. I could see him kind of being used the same way as a player like Jonnu Smith. Kind of move him around more of an H-back and play him, out in the slot. He's going to be much more of a receiving threat, kind of used off the line. I guess, how Kyle Pitts is kind of used, not saying he's Kyle Pitts, but kind of move him around and use him as a wide receiver. So he's a very interesting pick. I don't necessarily know where he will get drafted in the NFL draft, but he could be a steal in the 3rd or 4th round of your rookie draft, because if he goes to the right team that's going to use them, he could definitely be someone you want to look at, because he could have a big PPR value with the right type of offense. So let's go ahead and look at his tape. Oops, let me do this. Okay. So this first play, he's going to go across the middle. Just come across the middle, nice catch, hands catch. We'll replay that. He just turns around and goes across the middle, nothing crazy. Makes himself available, kind of stumbles, but makes himself available. Like I said, stumbles a little bit, is able to keep his feet and get a few extra yards. This next play, he was, let's see. He was on the outside. He was actually lined up in line. He's right here. He's going to come up and then kind of cut to the corner. He gets a step on the defender, and you see the size mismatch. And McCall is just going to throw it up, and he's going to make a great play on the ball. Jumps up, high points the ball, makes a nice catch. Even the second defender comes over. Very nice play by him. Like I said, that's why his value, especially in the red zone, is going to be really apparent at the next level. But he still has some other nice plays of yards after the catch. Here's another play, kind of like what Colorado State would do with McBride, kind of put him near the line and then just leak him out. Just a short little pass, nice. You can see his speed and athleticism breaking through and beating the defenders. This play right here, it's a little bit of a defensive breakdown, but it's nicely used by him. He's in line right here, and he's just going to cut across and run a real wheel route. So we'll run it here. So the 2 defenders right here get a little confused and let him go. And once he gets these 2 steps on this defender right here, he just has a speed that he won't be caught. So the defender is a little late. Once he catches it here at the 45, it's an easy touchdown. They're not going to catch him with his speed. So this next one, he's going to cut across the middle. And he cuts across in front of the defender, makes a nice catch. You can see he's right here. And he cuts back in, does a little stop and a juke. Gains a couple extra yards, but you see his ability after the catch there. This is going to be another play across the middle. Let's go back a little bit. He's in the slot again out here. And then he just, the defender is blitzing on the outside. So they have the safety out here, but he's got about a 10-yard cushion. So as he kind of comes up, because of his speed, the safety doesn't fully come up. Cuts inside, makes a nice catch, and is able to drag the defender for 5 or 6 yards after the catch. So this one is going to be, just going to cut to the outside. He's in the slot. He's going to cut to the outside. It's actually a little bit of a low pass, but he makes the nice catch at the shoestrings and cuts upfield right away and shows his athleticism by hurling the defender at 4 or 5 yards. So that's when he's going to cut to the outside. He was in the slot again, so he just comes out here. Looks like there might be some miscommunication here, or the defender gets caught up with the wide receiver. Sees wide open. He cuts it right up the field, gets about 5 yards. There, I would like him to kind of take on the defender. You see, he has a nice little gap right here, but he kind of just gives up around there. Might have been able to get 2 or 3 extra yards there. So this play, so this next play, he's here on the route. And I like it because he's going up the field. Notice the quarterback, Grayson McCall, comes to the outside. So then he works back to the ball. Just like a wide receiver, kind of on a scramble drill. Comes out, makes itself available, makes a nice catch. And a big gain on that play. This next play is going to be another one of those very short slip outs. So there's going to be play action. He's going to come out here. The play action holds a couple of the defenders. He's able to get outside. Nice little short pass. Then goes up the field. Able to make one guy miss and get a couple yards. I think sometimes he dances a little bit too much. So as you can see when he catches the ball, like right here, he catches the ball. I like him to go straight up the field, but he kind of cuts outside more. I like him to take on that defender. So I think there is some work he needs to do on his physicality, blocking, and taking on the defenders. So this next one is going to be a run block. I believe he misses the block here. So let's see where he is. Yeah, so he's going to be coming across here. And he's going to keep on coming across you start off on the right side of the offensive line. He's going to come across and need to make a block so he can lead for the running back. And as you see, he's right here. There's the defender coming up. And he tries to make contact, and he kind of just whiffs on it. He got in the way of the defender. So I guess it worked out on this play, but you'd like to see him make better contact and hold the block right there. But this play, he's going to make a let's see. So let's see. He's right here. Has a nice little catch to the outside. Gets tackled, but a lot of these plays are just short little out routes or just middle routes where he kind of just gets an open field and tries to make some plays for the offense. So I think he, like I said, kind of reminds me of Johnny Smith, how the Titans used him when he was in Tennessee. This is actually going to be a nice block by him up here. He's down here on the line on the right side of the offensive line. So here he actually comes up like he's going to run a route, and then he's going to come back and kind of seal the outside here. So let's run it. He acts like he's releasing to run a route. And then this defensive back comes up, and he does a good job not blocking in the back, just hitting him enough to allow the running back to get to the outside. So that's a nice play by him on the block. So this is going to be another play where he uses athleticism. Nice catch up here. And then he sees the defender. Another hurdle, shows his athleticism. Isn't able to keep his feet, but gets nice yards after the catch. Here's another play where they just get him outside here. He makes a defender miss. Another defender miss. And then goes up the field for another 5-10 yards. You know, a lot of his moves are like a big wide receiver. You know, he has some juke moves and start-stop ability and, you know, his good speed for his size. This play here, he just it's a bad block. So let's go back. He's going to be in the slot motioning in to block. So he's right here at the end of the line. He needs to block someone in the middle for this run. But the defensive tackle beats the lineman, and he doesn't really get a hand on him at all. So it's kind of on both the lineman and him, but the running back gets tackled 3 yards in the backfield. And this last play is going to be another yard after the catch. Another time where he just comes, you know, he's kind of like the H-back right here, comes across, and then the wide receiver right here kind of takes on the defender, so able to get him open. Nice little catch. Tons of room right here. And gets a first down there. So those are the 3 tight end prospects that we went over. Like I said, don't forget, tight ends still matter, even if they are not at the level of, say, a Kyle Pitts. But if any of these 3 can kind of make it in the top 10 or 15 early on, kind of like Freiermuth for the Steelers, I mean, that's a definite positive. And people, I think, got Freiermuth in the 2nd round. So I think a lot of people after the Senior Bowl were higher on McBride. So he might continue to move up draft boards. And with Weidermeyer, some of his plays are just eye-popping. And likely probably get drafted later. So he could be a definite steal in the 3rd or 4th round. With McBride and Weidermeyer, I would say, you know, after 2.6, you know, anywhere after that, depending on who's still on the board, I would definitely take a chance on them. So thank you for tuning in this week. And next week, we'll be back with even more draft prospects for the rest of the season.